Hello, my name is Lizzie, and this is Lizzie's Literary Life, and today we are going to be learning to knit. So, as many of you know, I do crochet. I made this. I've been crocheting since the beginning of 2022. I made this also. I do a book blanket every year. I have made garments. I've made amigurumi. I've made accessories. And blankets. I feel like I'm a pretty solid intermediate level crocheter, if not advanced, I don't know. But I'm a pretty solid crocheter, but I do not know how to knit. And I would like to know how to knit. So for my birthday this year, which is today, I asked my fiance for a nice set of interchangeable knitting needles. So this is from Knit Picks. It is the reflection set. I got metal needles, even though I've never tried to knit before. I got metal needles because it's partly on the advice of Ruby from Ruby Red, who I'm going to talk about a ton because she is my knitting inspiration. I got metal needles because I've heard that they are good for people with tight tension, and I have really tight tension in crochet. And also, I use all metal crochet hooks, and I also just kind of felt like whatever I learned on, I would end up preferring, which is what happened with crochet. I prefer metal crochet hooks, aluminum, because that's just what I learned on. So this is the set I'm going to use to learn. It's a really nice set. I'm very grateful to have received this for my birthday. And I'm just going to take you along with me on the process of learning to knit. The goal is by the end of this video, which I don't know when that's going to be, I want to have a sweater. So, are you ready? I'm ready. We're going to start by watching some videos, figuring out how to cast on. I'm going to make a rectangle first, a wonky rectangle probably, and then I would like to make a hat. That was Ruby's suggestion that I start with a hat. And she sent me a hat pattern, like a basic hat pattern that I can use some of my stash yarn for. And then if I feel confident, I'm going to move on to a sweater. So I'm going to break these bad boys out, do some Googling, find some videos, and we're going to get started.
That you need, then you can start knitting. So that's all there is to the long tail cast on using the thumb method. You know, if this is confusing you and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, just keep practicing. It's going to take you a couple times to really get it.
I have cast on using the long tail cast on thumb method. I will link all the tutorials and patterns and everything that I'm using in this video down in the description box. But this was like kind of, I don't know, maybe easier than I thought it would be. But it's just casting on. I did 24 stitches because that's how old I am today. And it's also my favorite number. So 24 cast on stitches. Now what?
Front, kind of pull it between those two needles and then kind of push my needle so that it picks up this strand of yarn in the loop and then drop it off the left needle, tighten it up. And that is all there is to the knit stitch. If you're very awkward and slow like this, at first, everybody starts off awkward and weird, okay? So here we go.
Hello, I was doing so good and then I dropped something, like I dropped a stitch or something, and I don't know what's going on now. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna keep going. Just gonna, no, I should start over. Maybe that's supposed to go like that. Wait, I think it actually is. Wow. It probably isn't, but no, I should start over. I'm going to start over. Okay, I'm going to recast on. Good practice casting on. I'd only knit 2 rows. I think I am understanding the knit stitch. So, progress. This is what I had so far. Okay. It's actually it was a really chill day because I wasn't teaching really any new material. So it was just like easy.
Good.
And then I got home and I sat in the sun, which was lovely.
Yay!
And now I'm here
Hooray!
learning to knit. Okay, I've been on my birthday stitch and call. Um, and here is my extremely wonky little swatch. I definitely added stitches because I started with 24 and now who knows how many this is, but it's not a rectangle. But yeah, I'm pretty proud. The fabric is like, I feel like the tension is actually pretty consistent. So good for me. I'm gonna do another basically swatch. I just am gonna do it in the round. I'm gonna do a little tube just to practice. And we'll see what happens. But I feel like as a first attempt, not bad. Okay, it's the next morning. We did get to a point last night where the birthday drinks and the party was too much for me to film, but I did do a little knitting in the round. It's a headband question mark. So I did like four or five rows in stockinette, which I'm learning all the lingo. Stockinette in the round, you just knit every row. Stockinette, if you're doing it flat, you have to knit one row, purl one row. So I did some stockinette, and then I was kind of bored of that, and so I learned to purl, and I did some 2x2 rib. I just did one row of 2x2 rib, so you can see the purls are in there somewhere. And I've decided I'm tired of swatches. I did a wonky rectangle. I did something in the round. I'm ready for a hat, is what I'm thinking. So at some point, probably today, I will cast on a hat. Ruby sent me a pattern for a very simple worsted, because I have so much worsted weight yarn that I wanted to use up. A simple hat that uses worsted weight yarn. It's free on Ravelry, so I will link it down below. And we're just gonna go for it. The one thing I'm nervous about is that this is the shortest cable I have. So I think for this hat, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like maybe for this hat, I'm going to need to do some magic loop situation, which like I don't really know what that is, but I know it's a thing that you do when your cable is too long where you like twist it. I don't really know, but I'm going to have to watch some videos on magic loop just in case I have to do that. And yeah, knitting. I know how to knit now. It's been one whole day and I feel like I know how to knit. So that's pretty cool. Okay, it's the same day. I just changed, but I've decided I am gonna make a nice navy hat because I have a ton of this navy Red Heart Super Saver. I need to learn the German twisted cast on, which I sort of have learned, but my stitches are way too tight, this is an issue I was really having last night, that everything was so tight that it just was like kind of painful. And like I know that my tension is tight in crochet, and like knitters tend to start tight. I think that's true, that like you tend to loosen your tension as you get more comfortable, which like makes more sense. But I'm gonna take this off and try again. A little looser.
And you can either start with a slip knot or without. I'm going to go ahead and start without one this time. You set yourself up like you're doing a slingshot cast on. Yarn around your first finger and your thumb, and the rest of fingers hanging onto the yarn down here. Put your needle up under the thread between your thumb and forefinger, and put your index finger down holding that. So you first you start by going under both strands of yarn, back over the top one and up.
I cast on like 60 stitches and my tail is not long enough because I need, I think, 88. So we're going to have to prep all this and leave a longer tail when I start my cast on. But I'm a pro at the German twisted cast on now, so all good. Hello, I am here at the end of day 2 of knitting to show you the brim of a hat. Doesn't this look like the actual brim of a hat? Like, are you kidding me? Second day knitting ever. And I made this. It is 2x2 rib. I'll put, if I haven't, I mean, I'll put the pattern that I'm following in the description. I was going to say if I haven't already, but like it all happens at the same time. Anyway, 2x2 rib. I dropped this. There's this little hole right here that I don't know what's going on with, but it's okay. I did drop a stitch and then successfully pick it up, which I'm really proud of. But yeah, I can knit, I can purl. That's all you need, right? I'm really proud of myself. Unfortunately, I have to frog a couple rows. I think, like, I know that I have some, like, wonky, I think I dropped a stitch somewhere and then I, like, messed up my knit purl pattern and like, a couple rows back. So I'm gonna need to frog a little bit. I'm really scared to frog. I think, and I don't have the patience to, like, watch videos to completion right now. So I'm kind of figuring it out as I go, which maybe is not the move, but we're just gonna take our needles out. And I need you with me for moral support. Oh my God, this is so scary. It's not like crochet. I feel like, I mean, also like I understand the anatomy of crochet so much better because I'm so much more experienced with it. But like I like don't even know what I'm looking at when I'm looking at my knitting. So this is really scary. I'm very carefully putting my stitches back on the needles after frogging like 3 rows. Oh my God, this is so scary. I should grab my crochet hook just in case I drop stitches because I do know how to pick up a drop stitch. I did watch a video on that. Okay, I think I have my stitches back on the needles. I think they're not twisted. They're all going the same direction. Whether that's the right direction, I don't know. But we are just going to keep going. Whether I'm gonna do I-cord straps and tie the top, or a tank top, or like a t-shirt. And now he's calling her Hannah too. There's other young ladies involved. I feel like every single of these girls has had a wraparound porch. Yeah, but like, I feel like there's more to it. Watch them be sitting on a bench later on the wraparound porch, just like at every single other girl's place.
Which, like, I think her report card is gonna say something different.
Not any longer, right? Not us trash talking a first grader.
Hello, awkward angle, quick knitting update. I have reached the decrease portion of the hat. We got our like 7 inches of stockinette, which like actually worked up so fast. And now I'm decreasing, and I am now at the point where the circumference of the knitting is much smaller than my needles. But I'm doing what I think is called the traveling loop method. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm doing something, and I think that might be what it's called. And it's working out for me decently. So we're just going to keep going. I'll probably update you once I have a hat, unless something goes wrong. Hello. I did successfully finish that hat shortly after I talked to you last. I just didn't show you right away because I was really overheated and didn't want to put a hat on. But so I'll show you that when I get home. I am now in the parking lot of Webb's, which is my local yarn store. It's America's yarn store. And I'm gonna get some yarn for a sweater because for some reason I believe that having successfully made a hat, I can now move on to a sweater. Am I delusional? Probably, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I can make a sweater. I believe in myself. So, there is a specific color of Cascade 220 that I want to use. It's a nice light blue, heathered light blue. And it's out of stock online, but usually like their in-store stock versus their online stock doesn't match. So I'm hoping they have it here and they have enough of it. But yeah, I'm going to go in. I'm going to show you around Webs a little bit. Probably won't talk to you, but it's a pretty cool store. So I will take some clips and we're going to see if I can get my beautiful light blue yarn for a beautiful sweater. Okay, hello. I am home, which means I need to show you my hat. That's a hat. That's a hat, and I made it. Oh, it's a little sparkly because I was doing something with sparkly yarn. Something completely separate with sparkly yarn. Anyway, this is a hat. I made it myself. I put a pom-pom on top because I had a pom-pom. I love it. I think it's perfect. I think it's a great hat. So yeah, basically I can knit now. And like I said, next stop is a sweater. I am going to show you the yarn that I got from Webs today, but I think the sweater knitting time is going to be in a separate vlog. So I think this is the like learning to knit vlog because I did it. I learned to knit. I made this. And there's some uneven stitches, but I feel like it's pretty good. And then next vlog, this is Cascade 220. It's an 100% wool yarn. I got 6 of these in this beautiful blue heathered color. I'm really happy with it. I almost couldn't, so they only had 4 of these out in like on the shelves and I knew I needed 6. And so I was like, oh no, like what if they don't have any more? So I was like thinking about like if I have to do stripes, like what would I do? But they had more. So I got 6 of these and we are going to make a sweater. Stay tuned for that vlog. I think I'm going to start it maybe right now. Or maybe not, because I have like a ton of crochet projects that I really need to be working on. But anyway, that is this vlog. I think it was probably short and sweet. And thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me where I learned to knit. I'm overheating. Thank you for coming along with this journey. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. I'm so happy and proud of myself. I went from this to this in just like 4 days. So, yeah. Comment down below, are you a fiber artist? And if so, what is your preferred medium? And if you have a preferred medium, would you like to learn the other one? And like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one coming very soon. Bye.